Hey everyone. So I have always been really inspired by different Food Network shows, and all my life I have loved to cook and bake. I grew up in a family of strong women who were really good at cooking, so naturally I always just wanted to be in the kitchen helping and learning and just really getting inspired and eating delicious stuff. So I made a commitment to one of my girlfriends to just do like a little cooking show or whatever you want to call it. I thought, I was like, if Jennifer Garner can have a fake cooking show on Instagram, why can't I? So here I am, and I've decided that I'm going to be sharing some recipes with you that are either good for your body, as in healthy, delicious, but most of all, the point of that meal is that they are healthy and really good fuel for your body. The other recipes I'm going to share are good for your soul. And we all know what that means. Not the healthiest for you, but it's decadent, it's comforting, it makes you feel good, it makes you happy, and I honestly feel like that's also a really big component of your health. So take it for what it is, but that's what I'm going to share with you. So today I am going to share with you a quiche recipe. So I have Steve's family coming over for brunch this morning, and I need something easy, something that's delicious, something that's filling, and something that will really impress people, because normally it's like, who makes a quiche? Like, I'll just make scrambled eggs and some bacon or whatever. But the thing is about quiche, if you find a really good recipe that's really easy, it works, and this one works every single time. Foolproof. Really foolproof. It's a very forgiving recipe. Normally I make this with just veggies, so like bell pepper, broccoli. You can add mushrooms, really whatever you want. But today what I had at home was broccoli and bacon. So I'm adding a little bit more comfort, a little bit more good for your soul flavor to it. So broccoli, bacon, and cheese quiche. So let's get started. All right, so the first part of this quiche, and what makes it so easy, is the crust. You do not have to worry about making a pie crust. You don't have to worry about getting into any finicky food processor stuff. It's puff pastry. Puff pastry is sent from the gods, I'm just gonna say. But anyway, so I have some puff pastry that I had been thawing, because you really wanna make sure you take it out of the freezer at least 30 minutes before you're gonna use it. And what I'm gonna do, it just kind of comes in these sheets, is I'm just going to roll it out, and so that I can be able to spread it in my pie pan. So I usually keep it on a dish towel, because I feel like it helps retain its moisture and it doesn't dry out as quickly. So I'm gonna do this here, put this back here. So my mom, this recipe is from her. And this recipe came about when we were having a post-Thanksgiving brunch. So normally, we have all these really great family traditions, and all, sides of the family getting together during the holidays and certain meals. Well, as all of us kind of grew up, got older, moved away, things like that, we kind of had to form some new traditions to make sure everyone could still get together. So what I did for my dad's side of the family is, normally we spend Thanksgiving with Steve's side of the family, and then after that we will go home, Black Friday, that weekend I'll go back to my hometown, and then we'll end up having a post-Thanksgiving brunch with my dad's side of the family, which is awesome. So it kind of gives you a whole new opportunity to cook a bunch of other stuff. Some of you may think like, I don't want to make a brunch after Thanksgiving. Like, are you kidding me? Not the day after Thanksgiving, like the weekend, and so, but anyway, it gives us, more time to try out new recipes, and we wanted something that was going to be easy, and that was going to be delicious, and could feed people, like, feed more than just like a couple people. So, and when you do a quiche, you don't have to stand over the stove forever, also a plus. So I have a pie pan. I just laid this in here. So as you can see, you have some kind of like overlap and some pieces that are just hanging over. This is what I do. I just take a knife, I trim the edges, and then I just kind of make my own crust at these other edges. And then it fits in perfectly. All you do is just press it down, trim again, and you're gonna have a perfect pie crust. Just like that. Super, super easy. So I think that one's pretty good. I'll just trim this side. And keep going all the way around. And like I said, this recipe is very forgiving. So don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, because it's still going to taste delicious, and because it's puff pastry, it'll puff up in the oven. So really any kind of mistakes that you see, like little cracks in the crust or anything like that, don't worry about it. It'll really still look impressive. So, all right, I just have one little section left. I think that looks pretty good. Because as you can see, it's all kind of piecemeal together at parts, but it's perfect. Perfect in my eyes. So next comes the filling. So what I have here is I have 6 eggs. So I'm just gonna kind of break the yolks here and just kind of give them a quick stir. All right, now to that, I'm going to add, this is a combination. This is a 1/4 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Good for your salt, right? I've said that multiple times. Not the healthiest, but it's really good. And it's not like you're gonna be eating an entire pie full of quiche, right? So, all right. And then next we have some spices. So in here I have some dried minced onion, so like onion flakes. I have some dried parsley. I have garlic salt, and then I also have a little bit of black pepper. So I'll just pour all of that in there. Look at me being all Food Network like and already having things measured out. No, not really, but anyway. Okay, next I want to add in my cheese. So yes, this looks like a lot of cheese, and it's because it is. So I have some shredded cheddar cheese, and then I have some shredded Parmesan cheese, and I'm just gonna pour that in. Oh my goodness, this is looking so good. So I'm gonna switch now from this little whisk to spatula. Yes, there's a cupcake on my spatula. I'm owning it. It's fine. So, it's because I love to bake. This was actually a present from one of my friends back in like college. I actually used to work at the bakery at Miami. No joke. I used to help make cookies and muffins and all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of a fun job just to help make some extra money, and really wasn't a big deal to me. But anyway, okay, so now that I have that, this is where the fun kind of begins with you can make it your own. So you can pick what veggies, what meats, whatever you want to put in here. The quantity is, I think it's 1.5 cups. 1.5 cups of either veggies, meat, whatever you want. Like I said, normally I do like bell pepper, broccoli, and some mushrooms. But today, like I said, I have some broccoli and some bacon, and that's what we're gonna do. So I am going more broccoli than bacon, trying to help a little bit. So here's a cup of broccoli. And then I have some bacon over here that I need to chop to make sure, and I have a little 1/2 cup so I can measure that. Now, so I'm just gonna chop this up. You can make them, you know, as big chunks or small chunks as you want. I wanna make sure everyone kind of gets a good bite. So probably about like a 1/2 inch chop. And who doesn't like a good bite of bacon? Actually, bacon is something we really don't have here a lot. I just have some left over because my family was visiting last weekend, and of course, anytime we get together, it's always about food, right? I don't know if anyone else is like that, but when my family gets together, we eat a lot of good food. So, and then we all recover the next week. Not a very healthy habit, but like I said, it's good for your body or it's good for your soul. You have to decide. All right, so that looks, I think maybe I'll just rip up another piece. Yeah, that looks about right. And always a very good, important tip when it comes to making bacon, always make extras. So, all right. And I'm just gonna stir all of this together. I wish you could smell my house right now because everything just smells like coffee and bacon. It smells so good. So, I have everything all mixed together. And now I'm just going to pour it in my pie dish. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Alrighty, kind of zhuzh it around here. Make sure it's all combined. I kind of like to, because whenever you dump it, you know, obviously things can kind of go in one place. So I kind of just like to make sure I have a little bit of bacon, a little bit of broccoli spread out here. All right, y'all. Now, this goes into a 375-degree oven for about 35 minutes, and then I will share the most important tip for you when it comes out. You won't be able to dig into it immediately. Very, very important. It has to set, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I'll see you next. Okay, it's time to take it out of the oven. Oh my goodness, I wish you all could smell how this smells. The bacon, the cheese, the garlic. Take a look at that, honestly. And see how I told you about the puff pastry? It kind of puffs up where it wants anyway, so don't worry about your little mistakes that you've made. Looks great, smells fantastic. Now remember, the tip is let it sit for 10 minutes before you cut it. Otherwise, you're going to cut it into a soupy mess and it won't be anything. The egg just has to set a little bit at room temperature. So that being said, I'm going to take this to the table and go enjoy it with my family.